Now, with both Star Wars Celebration and D23 serving as the main events this year to actually pretty much present all the announcements for the Star Wars roadmap by John, George, and Dave, we also can't forget about the earnings calls that take place on a quarterly basis that's going to be presented by Bob Iger, the Disney board, etc. That will also include some announcements at some of those earnings calls. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, there's been a lot of things happening with Gina Carano and the return of Cara Dune, and how a lot of storyboards are being developed, not just for Mando Season 4, but for also other Star Wars projects out there. We're going to be diving into every single specific detail about that. However, as we stand right now, Disney executives are really at a standstill. They know that Star Wars is in a very delicate place right now. They've got to make sure that every single choice that they make is going to be the right choice. And they've repeatedly said this before in the past, that they believe that the Ahsoka series is going to be the home run of Disney Star Wars on Disney+. In fact, they are aiming to make Ahsoka the new flagship show, taking over the Mandalorian series. So given that number one, it's becoming a multi-season show, they're already working on a second season, they're also going to be making it the flagship show. So anyways, with that being all put out there and said, we know that ever since February to March of 2021, just over 2 years ago when Gina Carano was fired, in the worst way possible by Kathleen Kennedy and those over at Lucasfilm, we've seen a lot of change happening between the fans. We've seen a lot of divide, we've seen a lot of fans having different opinions on the situation. However, alright, for those of you that like Gina Carano, this is going to be great news, and I feel that this is something that should have been done a very long time ago. Now, with Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to make big announcements soon, Disney executives recently accepted a very big pitch by Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni involving Carano's return, and Cara Dune being reinstated. Now, Disney recently just had a meeting with John, George, and Dave on finalizing a big plan for Gina's return into the franchise. This agreement is said to be a way to bring back Gina in the best way possible. Disney has agreed to allow all of Gina's deleted scenes from The Mandalorian Season 2 to debut in the special edition of Season 2 by 2024, as well as reinstating Rangers of the New Republic that is set to bring back the character of Cara Dune regardless. Disney is going to make a big announcement about the revival of Rangers by the end of this year with a brand new title and storyline during one of their earnings calls. The plan that was pitched to the Disney board is said to involve Gina returning as Cara Dune as Special Forces and as an enhanced warrior this time around, with some brand new design changes to the character to give her a good comeback. John and Dave are already storyboarding Gina's role for Rangers. As of now, it's all up to Gina if she even wants to come back, and that she now has up until June to make her decision. The only bad news about this process is that Gina's big return won't happen until at least 2025, where a glorified cameo of Cara Dune, however, is still in the cards for The Mandalorian Season 4. So, let me just stop right here for 1 second. So, basically, Disney executives are trying to decide which they want to do first. The revival of Rangers or her glorified cameo in Mando 4. I say why not both, and I've said this before. Now, the thing about Mando 4 is that it's very likely that it could very well be delayed until January of 2025, or maybe even March. Look at what happened with Mando Season 3. It was supposed to be, released on Disney Plus during the holiday season of last year, 2022, and that got pushed until March of this year. So, realistically, it could happen again, especially if now John and Dave want to take more time on Mando Season 4 as John wanted to with Season 3. We may not get Mando Season 4 by the holiday season of 2024, which is exactly why I'm saying we might not get her cameo until at least 2025. But here's the great news, is that we're at least going to be getting those deleted scenes of Gina from Mando Season 2 in the special edition of Season 2, one of which has a lot of interactions of herself with Luke Skywalker and stuff around those lines. Now, as I said this before, there are going to be a lot of design changes coming to the character in order to really kind of give the character a little bit more value, not just for on-screen, but also for merchandise, right? It's a smart move by John and Dave. And as well for collectors, right? Now, beyond that, however, executives are trying to decide if they want to bring her back in a big way first or in a smaller way to introduce her return. Cara Dune's new design is described to actually be very much on par and very much like a spy, all decked out in black with a jetpack this time around, and holding some type of new blaster rifle that has never been seen before. This is all finalized in the new storyboards, where also she has longer hair tied back up in a ponytail as well. John and Dave's pitch is to make her a type of double agent in Star Wars, to play both sides, to garner information from the remnants of the Empire, and corruption within the world of Coruscant. Now that to me is very interesting, because as you all know in the canon, there is a lot of corruption in Coruscant, even during the days of the New Republic, and that's a fact. So I kind of like what they are trying to establish here, you know, with the whole scenario of Gina as Cara Dune playing this double agent type of character. Makes it all the more interesting because you can see her both as a hero and a villain, even though, you know, she's not really either case. She's kind of playing both sides. That's a very interesting reinvention, or a way to kind of revive the character. And at the end of the day, too, we know that fans want something new. They don't want a rehash of anything. They want fresh, new material that's going to bring something new to the table. That's all that really matters, right? That's all that fans really care about. That's all what they really want. And honestly, that's what the fans deserve. They deserve fresh content that's really going to serve the story. Now, not so surprising, Kathleen Kennedy is trying everything in her power to prevent all of this from happening. She wants nothing to do with Gina Carano's return. She is literally trying to convince the Disney executives that are not loyal to her to reverse these plans and to really kind of just stay clear from, you know, reinstating Gina's role as Cara Dune. And that just goes to show you that there is, yes, most definitely some kind of personal grudge between the two for some odd reason that we may or may not ever find out, by the way. Now, what's great about this too, though, is that Gina Carano, as you all know, has been opening up more and more in the past, and she will be opening up more about Lucasfilm in the coming months in various different interviews, talking about the truth about certain scenarios. But the thing that really stands out to me here is how John and Dave really went the extra mile to bring her back, to really make sure that Disney is going to accept their pitch, and they did. This is the overall plan that they want to pursue now by making Cara Dune Special Forces and portraying as a double agent. Really kind of diving into, like I said before, the corruption of Coruscant as well as the remnants of the Empire. Now, anyways guys, I would love to hear what each and every one of you have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.